Hello, everyone. This is Jefferson Hendricks of the Robinson Film Center and Centenary College, coming to you with Film 101, an introduction to some films that maybe you haven't seen in a while or perhaps have never seen. And while we are all practicing social distancing during the pandemic, we still hopefully have access through streaming to lots of good movies. And so our recommendation this week in our series on fantastic cinema is the 2006 film Children of Men, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. This film, Children of Men, is based on a novel by P.D. James, the British novelist. It is a dystopian thriller set in the very near future about a young man, Theo, who has been, is earlier in his life, an activist in England. The setting is in London. But he is now a kind of middle management bureaucrat, but severely depressed and living in a world, a dystopian world, where some catastrophe has happened, which no one is quite articulating in the film. We don't know what has happened, but what we do know is there are no new babies being born. And so all of the people alive right now, they are the last people on earth unless this fertility crisis changes and people start having babies again. Well, Theo is introduced at a certain point to a young woman who is indeed pregnant. And the film, with certain almost religious overtones, talks about this miracle birth and this potential resurrection for the human race in the midst of this catastrophe of infertility. Theo becomes a bit of an activist again. This is his chance to pull himself out of a deep depression where life has no meaning. And he helps Key try to get to this group of people who will protect her. The opposition here is a radical group called the Fishes, who want to use Key politically to start a revolution against the government, the British government. I won't tell you how it ends, you'll have to see it, but let me say this is one of the most powerful thriller dramas of the last 2 decades. Directed by Alfonso Cuarón, very famous Mexican director, one of the great directors, good friend of Guillermo del Toro of Pan's Labyrinth. Cuarón has been directing and writing and working on films for over 30 years now, most famously late 90s, 1998 film Great Expectations, also 2001 his film Y Tu Mamá También, in 2004 Harry Potter, and The Prisoner of Azkaban. Other films, we've won 2 Academy Awards for Best Director, 2013 Gravity and 2018 Roma. But his 2006 Children of Men film is my favorite of all of his work. Theo is quite a character played by Clive Owen, who finds meaning in this attempt to do something positive with his life. And there are several set pieces that are incredibly well shot. The cinematography by Emmanuel Lubensky is really wonderful. There's a scene where Theo and Key and a couple of other people are attacked by this motorcyclist. And if you look closely at that scene, you can't imagine how they shot it actually. And the background to that shot is really something to look up and think about. Also, there is a battle scene where the Fishes and the government forces come together. That's one of the most spectacular scenes that I've ever seen shot. Punctuated by a very, very dramatic moment where both sides see Key and see her pregnancy, and the war stops for a moment. So if you're interested in the fantastic, if you're interested in thinking about some of the issues, The Children of Men is not exactly about a pandemic, but it is about a world in crisis. And it's very interesting to see the way that the people of this film react to that crisis. So hopefully this will be another film that you might enjoy this week. Again, Children of Men, directed by Alfonso Cuarón. I hope you enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, goodbye, and stay well.